So I just watched the whole plaqueboymax ojay swab situation, and I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. It made me realize that people don't really accept you for who you are. Like, it's so funny because every time you ask somebody or every time you talk to somebody, they'll always give you an NPC response. Like, oh yeah, be yourself, be who you really are, oh, accept yourself. But the problem is that nobody really believes this because nobody actually accepts you for who you are, right? And honestly, that's okay. That's okay because at the end of the day, just because someone doesn't accept you doesn't mean that you won't go on and do well in life. Doesn't mean that you cannot be happy. Doesn't mean that you can't have friends, right? And when I was watching the plaqueboymax situation, I was watching y'all probably already done seen the whole thing, so I ain't even gonna like play the clip or nothing. But when he was giving that motivational speech at the end of his stream, bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I felt that, bro. I felt that because, there have been times in my life to where I didn't fit in or, I was considered like weird. I was never considered like, to be fruity or nothing like that. But, there have been times where I've been considered an outcast or I was weird. Actually, there have been times when I remember when I dyed my hair. When I dyed my hair blind, bro, boy, even because I was on YouTube back then too. Y'all was frying me in the comment section, calling me a batty boy and all that type of shit, bro. I remember, but it was just something that I wanted to do. And my thing is, like, I've never been the type of person to really break down and be like, oh, well, maybe I should change or something. Like, I've always been a person who, or I guess I grew into a person who could take criticism well, right? Or could take judgment well. Because at the end of the day, I didn't care about how people thought about my blonde hair. I doubled down. I did different colors. I started doing different colors. I didn't care, bro. And what you got to understand about that is being yourself, being your most authentic self, no matter how weird or away from the norm it is the only way to live life. Otherwise, you're going to be miserable. And that's why 95% of people is miserable, especially Gen Z, bro, because Gen Z has been raised at a time where social media has taken over and you see what's normal all the time. You're always supposed to fit in, whatever, whoop-de-whoop, right? And, that whole trying to fit in thing, let me tell you something right now. It don't get you nowhere. You just gonna be miserable, right? How you think people get trapped in the 9 to 5? How you think people get trapped in this corporate system? How you think people get trapped having terrible, miserable lives? It's because all they do is try to fit in, right? And then they kind of mask it as, oh, well, this is what's normal. Well, it's not necessarily what's normal. It's what the rest of society is doing, right? But that doesn't mean that that's necessarily the right way to act or the right way to be. You know what I'm saying? My point in saying all this is, bro, you have to be a little weird, bro. It's okay to be a little weird and fruity. You could be a little gay, bro. You could be a little fruity. You could be a little, and when I say that, I mean like look at Lil Uzi Vert. Look at Playboy Cardi. You know what I'm saying? They got more like feminine-esque tendencies. And that's cool, bro. Let them do them. Because guess what? At the end of the day, it related to some people because they blew up. That's how you become successful. And it don't even have to be like, oh, I'm a successful rapper or I'm a successful content creator or whatever the case may be, right? It's usually just like anything in life, right? You trying to get a job, right? What you gotta do? You gotta stand out. How do you stand out? By being the best, most authentic version of yourself, right? You trying to, I don't know, you trying to make it on a sports team, right? How do you stand out? By mastering and perfecting your play style, not trying to copy somebody else's play style, So honestly, being your most authentic self, no matter how weird it is the best way to go. Unless you want to be miserable. Unless you want to be a fucking NPC for your entire life. Unless you want to listen to niggas tell you what to do, bruh. I mean, shit. If you're one of them like, oh, bro, you weird. Oh my gosh, you try to be normal, you try to fit in. I ain't gonna lie, you might as well, bro. You might as well get on your knees, brother. Go ahead and. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and get it all, bro. Just go ahead and look it all up, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because you the real weirdo. What's really weird, see, people always be calling people that got different type of style or they doing their own thing weird, right? But at the same time, if you trying to fit in with everybody else, come on, man. Now, don't mistake me for saying that, I would be doing the same things that plaqueboymax has done. Like me personally, you know what I mean? Even though, he could do what he want to do. But me personally, I would not be, getting the word diva tattooed on me or nothing like that. That's just me personally. I wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? I got my own style, I got my own swag. But that's not something that I don't like that aesthetic, me personally. However, if somebody else does, shit, bro, just do it, man. Because I ain't gonna lie, we only got one life. We only got one life, man. Just go out and live it. And you know, all this kind of it all kind of comes into perspective though. Because like I was saying earlier, nobody truly accepts you for who you are. And what I mean by that is when Max first came out, right? It was a bunch of content creators that was saying, yo, this dude is on some weird shit. This dude's on some weird shit. Even me. But the way that I was framing it was, look, I ain't gonna lie, me personally, I would never do this. Hey, you do you, bro. In my opinion, this is how I feel about it. Whatever. But some content creators said, yo, this is weird. And now they defending him like, oh, yeah, no, it shouldn't matter what he do. And it just makes you really like realize the hypocrisy of these NPCs that be walking around, bro. Because these NPCs that be walking around, they say one thing and then they say another thing to like damn near contradict themselves. Now, I do know that there's a difference between saying your opinion on your own platform versus going on his platform and disrespecting him. That's a huge difference for sure. But at the same time, like everyone's saying, oh, we should be all accepting, kumbaya, bro. But that's not how life works, and that's not what most of these creators did. All they're doing is hopping on the wave. They all just trying to get views, bro. At the end of the day, yeah, I think you should accept yourself. I think you should dive into the best version of you. But the caveat to that is that not everyone is going to accept you. And you know what? Not everyone is ever going to. That will never happen. We will never get to a point in life where everyone just accepts who you are. You just have to learn how to accept not being accepted. You have to be okay with not being liked by some people. And I get that. That's what I've started to understand. As I get older in age, bro, I'm at the point in my life to where I do not give a fuck if you... Look, I'm going to be me. I'm never going to change myself, my personality, to fit somebody else fucking with me. Why would I do that? I do not care. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't like it and if you don't accept it for it, like if you think I'm a weirdo, whatever, okay, cool, bro. I'm a weirdo then. Oh, Cam is this, Cam is that. You know what I'm saying? That's why, who cares? Who cares? I'm going to do me and I'm going to keep going forward. I'm a soldier. I'm going to keep going forward. And that's what I hope. That's the lesson that I hope plaqueboymax learns is that, you know, look, I know that deep down, like he may feel a type of way, you know, because of the way he was disrespected. And you know, that's okay to feel that way because you were disrespected. But at the end of the day, though, bro, you gotta understand, niggas are not gonna accept you, bro. Niggas are never going to get to a point where they're like, oh yeah, like, you know what? Yeah, we rock with that style. We rock that aesthetic. No, niggas gonna say it's weird until the day they die. I'm dead serious. But you just have to be ready for that. You have to accept that and own it. That's how you really pop, bruh. That's how you pop. That's how these little Uzi Verts, these Playboy Cardis, these young thugs, that's how they blew up. They was just doing whatever they wanted to do. That's what they was doing. However they felt, they dressed however they wanted to dress. They was just doing whatever type of aesthetic they wanted to do. And they didn't really care about not being accepted for it. They didn't care about people saying, oh, this is weird. They kept going and kept diving in. And that's how you blow up. That's how you become successful in life, bro. Realizing that you're going to be judged for everything you do. You're going to be judged. That's why I hate, like, you know what I mean? Two things can be true at the same time. Yes, be yourself authentically. Do not care about what other people think. At the same time, understand that people will judge you. People judging you. That's why I hate when people say, oh, you know, people shouldn't judge. That's just not how humans work. I'm sorry. It's just not. It just isn't. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Let me know what y'all think, man. I'm out.